Yo, welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. You probably already heard we had a nice little Friday night in all sports. This whole week was great. I'm uploading the 2 Game 7 videos the night before, which I hate doing because it means I didn't get to study the line movement, but the tip-offs are too early. I won't have time in the morning. Anyway, Suns versus Mavericks, Game 7. Let's dive in.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
All right, we got Dallas on the road in Phoenix for Game 7. The line is Suns -6.5. Early action slightly leaning towards the Suns. I think it was like 62% of the money on Phoenix as of 6 p.m. earlier this evening. And again, we're only looking at a 5-hour sample size, not really any time to study line movement, but in those 5 hours, basically nothing moved. Bets and money both slightly leaning Phoenix. We're still looking at Phoenix -6.5. All right, let's run through a quick breakdown, and it's going to be real quick. Same thing as the last video. I don't need to go through different sets and matchups here. We know these two teams. We just watched them play 6 times, so I'm going to run through some quick Game 6 notes and get right to the pick. So Game 6 was really similar to Games 3 and 4, the other 2 games in Dallas. At home, this Mavericks defense just shows up, specifically the role players like Reggie Bullock and Finney Smith, 2 guys that come to mind. These guys just D the f up at home. Actually, the Dallas Mavericks home defensive numbers since the All-Star break are right up there in the top 5 of the NBA, right up there next to the Miami Heat. So yeah, it's not easy to score in the Mavericks in Dallas. Want to know the difference between the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat? The Miami Heat are also a top 5 defense on the road. In fact, statistically, they're slightly better defensively on the road than they are at home. And the Mavericks are a completely different story. For some reason, away from Dallas, that defense goes from elite to mediocre to slightly below average. Which brings us to Game 7. Now, the pros for making a Phoenix Suns bet, I feel like they don't even need to be said. You got the best team in the NBA, the 1 seed, best record in the whole league, against the Mavericks team, who plays poor defense on the road, haven't beaten the Suns on the road once in this series. Pros for a Dallas bet. Now, this is a little interesting. In Game 6, it seems the Suns offense, in my opinion, the longer this series went on, the worse it was for Phoenix, because I feel like the Suns offense is starting to get slightly predictable. Specifically, Chris Paul and Devin Booker. I feel like Reggie Bullock jumped like 7 passes. In reality, it was probably only about 4, and he only recorded 2 steals, so he didn't even get to all 4 of them. But the passing and Devin Booker's, his whole skill set, his isolation scoring, they've caught on. He's not fooling anyone. He has not looked good. Yes, I'm aware that he dropped 28 points and went 11 for 20, I think it was, from the floor in Game 5. I'm aware, but a lot of those looks were wide open just from defensive breakdowns on Chris Paul. The Devin Booker that we all used to love, or I mean, I say used to love because he's been pissing me off recently, but when he does that double cross and creates that contested shot from 16 feet, we haven't seen that Devin Booker since earlier in the season, in the series, Game 1 or 2. In my opinion, it's very simple. This game comes down to one thing. Can the Dallas Mavericks show up on the road for the first time in this series? Is that defense going to be there? Because you can't outscore the Suns in Phoenix. So is the defense going to show up or not? I can't believe I'm doing this. If you're straight up asking me for my betting advice, what I think you should bet, Phoenix -6.5 is probably the smartest bet. That being said, personally, I'm going with my heart. I'm going with Luka Magic, man. I think that Dallas Mavericks defense takes the trip and shows up in Game 7. I don't know if they advance, but I think it's going to be a crazy game, and I'll definitely will love to have those 6.5 points in my pocket. Give me Dallas +6.5. Final ticket posted on Kirms.com and the Sauce Network app. I'm posting the NBA picks up pretty early, probably 10:30, 11 a.m. because of the early start times. All sports will be posted staggered at different times depending on the start time. Also, if there's any crazy last minute changes, injury updates, money shift, line movement, anything like that, and that's important because I'm uploading this the night before. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook, mainly Twitter, but I do usually screenshot it and put it on my Instagram and Facebook also. Check out one of those 3 platforms before you place your bets. Here we go. We got Saturday. We got 2 Game 7s. This is going to be electric. Let's get it. Let's bring in some money on this lovely Saturday. I'll talk to you on Twitter.